Hello everybody and welcome back to Final Fantasy XVI. We have just wrapped up the DLC pack for Echoes of the Fallen, and now we're on to the second one, which is going to be right here at the reading table, I believe, and we might have some other missives. Oh yeah, we have a couple. So let's read on through some of these, but this is where the next DLC should start, I would think. Before we depart, Ifrit, you have my sincerest gratitude for reuniting me with Master Harpocrates, that I might embark upon this most important of journeys, my heart free of regret. Though in these past few moons I have come to realize that the longer I spend in the company of you and your brother, the deeper I find myself in your debt. We must swiftly see to the menace that is Ultima, if not to save the world, to save me from an eternity of recompense. It's also like, Dion, it's cool. I don't know to what extent Clive and Joshua understand exactly what went down in that throne room, but let's just assume that Dion probably shared at least a lot of the details, the ones that he was still cognizant of, because it does seem like he really lost himself in that moment. Based on the manipulation that he was under, I just don't think that he is responsible for the outcomes there. Safe returns. Thank you, Clive, for ever indulging the whims of this doddering old soul. I'm ashamed that for far too many years I allowed stubbornness and fear to keep me from something so simple as letting a friend know how proud I was of him. Your intervention has lifted a heavy pall from my heart. Perhaps upon your triumphant return from the skies, you might be inclined to set to page that quill I gifted you. There are many of us who would hear a first-hand account of your time with the Holy Prince, myself included. Harpocrates the Second. This is the first I'm learning that he's the second of his line. Second of his name. The greatest gift. It feels like a lifetime ago. It was a lifetime ago. That afternoon on Mons Hill, was our first adventure, but somehow I knew even then that it would not be our last. I will never forget that day, and the simple fact that you have not either... Sorry, okay, let me try that one more time. Somehow I knew even then that it would not be our last. I will never forget that day, and the simple fact that you have not either fills my heart with a joy so fierce I cannot describe it. Since the moment we first met, you have always been an important part of me, the half that makes me whole. When times are darkest, you are my light. When I am lost, you are my guiding star. You are just what I need. You are all that I need. You are the greatest gift. Clive, you need to go find this woman and then spend some time with her right now. She's really feeling some kind of way about that garland. I would go attend to her immediately. That which... We're going to skip this just so that we can do that separately. That which conquers all. This is from Isabel. Here, not long removed from when last you placed yourself between us in peril, I sit and pen yet another letter in which I try to find the words to somehow express the gratitude of an entire town. Still, something feels different about our latest triumph. Where in the past we leaned ever so heavily upon your good graces, this time we found strength elsewhere, in ourselves. Our hardship has shown us that which should have been apparent all along. We are not as different as we want to believe. Does a peasant love his homeland any less than a noble? Does a bearer love his family any less than another man does his own? Is this love that has united us and given us true strength? Should every thrall, Akashic, bandit, and brigand in the realm come charging to our gates, we will not fret, we will not falter, we will fight, and we will win. I'm going to say that this is probably a lot of what Isabel would have said had she never met Clive. Maybe she has a lot more faith in the others in town, that she's seen them come together, but I'm not convinced that Clive did anything other than give them time to realize what was there all along. And I think that Isabel always would have been the leader to help uncover it. It just needed a little bit of time and like breaks between the attacks to show that it was possible. They just needed the opportunity to realize it, to have the faith in themselves. Oh, this guy. Hold on, let's read from... But I just wanted to say, this guy... Clive was way more patient with this guy. I never got around to it in the last episode, but Famiel here, he did everything he could to put Clive in peril, and although on the back end he was always like, oh yeah, no, I knew that they would be no match for you, he still got those other people killed. There was no reason for us to have engaged with them except that Famiel called them over. So he's still guilty of causing their deaths because somebody wasn't going to walk away from that, and frankly, Clive's the protagonist, so it really had to be him to survive it all. So I'm not a Famiel fan, I have to say. Dear Sid, I write you this note from Imperial lands. Yes, I know we said we'd be going straight home, but a little detour to trade the trinkets we'd picked up on our travels for some trusty gil seemed in order. Give the elders something to soften the shock of losing the dust crystals, like. Truth is, those crystals have long been a lifeline for our people. And though I may have been quick to comprehend your reasoning that they're not but a tether to a sinking ship, humble country folk like mine are rather less receptive to new ideas. Wish me luck in turning them to the righteous path, Famiel. It's interesting to me that I guess they were using dust crystals for a while, and that was only sort of becoming apparent now that all of the other crystals are shattered and fading away into dust, that there's like these like really offshoot, like knick-knack, cheapo versions of crystals that you can only do a couple things with them. So, like, I guess it's fine. But I'm a little bit surprised that now instead of having a crystal that lights your fire like once or twice, you just do it with a flint. You know, it doesn't seem like it was all that great and like it would be that disruptive, but I don't know. I'm not with them, and I only know them through that guy's eyes. Okay, here we go. Unmarked. Sid, I shall not waste time mincing words. Leviathan's dominant is in need of rescue, and despite my innumerable misgivings about joining hands with an outlaw of the highest disrepute, the dame has assured me that there's none better suited to the task at hand. I dare not reveal more for fear this missive could fall into the wrong hands, but if what little I have penned here has kindled your interest, I bid you journey to the Vale in Northreach and inquire with one Layla. She will surely see you satisfied. Is satisfied in italics? I feel like that's like some innuendo, but no, if somebody needs help, who is this? Leviathan's dominant, who, as far as I know, we've never seen or even heard of before, so let's hit it.
Leviathan the Lost? Why now? After all this time?
Why, what now?
Oh, I'm not sure you'd believe me if I told you.
After all we've been through. I doubt there's anything that could surprise me at this point.
All right then. Rouse Joshua and meet me in the mess. We'll talk there. I see we're all here.
So, what is it this time?
I'm not sure yet. The letter delivered to my chambers omitted a few crucial details.
Do we know its provenance?
That was one of the details it omitted. But whoever the sender was, it seems the dame held them in high enough regard to point them in our direction.
The dame? Well, she's not one to waste our time. It must be important.
Important might be an understatement. If the letter is to be believed, Leviathan's dominant is in danger. And someone wants us to save him.
Leviathan?
So the Warden of Water has finally returned. What has it been? 100 years?
More. The Lost moniker dates back at least that long. Even our venerable lawsman would not have been so much as a glint in his father's eye when last the mighty serpent brought his crushing waves to bear upon the realm.
But why the gap? I know it can be a few years before a new dominant's born. But over a century?
Should the dominant of Water's bloodline have been severed somehow, it could have prevented a new dominant from awakening.
But if one has awakened now, he couldn't have chosen a worse time. Every nation in the realm has lost its dominant. If word gets out that there is still one to be had, they will stop at nothing to claim it for their own.
And the twins will be at war again, just when humanity most needs to come together. Did the letter say anything else?
Only that if I wish to know more, we must meet in person. And that the Veil can arrange a meeting.
If nothing else, you can be certain it ain't a trap.
Famous last words. I'm coming with you.
As am I.
Thank you. Both of you. And Otto?
Yeah. I'll keep an eye on things here. Didn't fancy coming anyway.
Thank you. I shall leave the Invincible in your capable hands.
Quest destinations for the Rising Tide are indicated with a... I'm going to go with gold icon. After accepting the quest, current objectives are displayed in the to-do list on the right-hand side of the screen. These will temporarily replace main scenario objectives. If you wish to restore main scenario objectives to the to-do list, you can do so on the Journal tab in the main menu. Alright, well, we're going to head directly to that. So, let's head on and find Layla in Northreach. Alright, based on where we are and the innuendo in the letter, I bet that we're going to find them, and also just the direction that this is. I bet we're going to find Layla right at the dame's domicile.
How about we... Fancy a peek behind the veil, my lord?
I'm looking for a Layla.
You found one. So, will your friends be joining in? Or just watching?
We're not here for your services. We simply want to talk.
What you do with your time is up to you. The price is still the same.
We're here about the letter.
Oh, sorry. I suppose you'll be wanting to know who wrote it then.
Among other things.
Look, I'm just the messenger here. There's only so much I can tell you.
Specifically?
A location, north of town, on the shore of Tailwind Bay. There you'll find a tent and the woman who can answer your questions.
And that's all? Nothing else?
Actually, one thing. There's more than flowers in the meadows these days. So keep that sword of yours to hand. Few venture into the Royal Meadows anymore, so you won't be overheard.
Does anyone else think it's strange that this woman should prefer to keep to the outskirts of town?
Not if she realizes the value of the information she's party to.
And the danger it puts her in.
Haven't seen any of those beastly blue-eyed things.
Well, we'll go this way. There's a couple different ways to go.
Do be careful.
With Layla there, I personally would have found it equally funny if Jill had elbowed her way into that conversation and said, actually, we're here about the letter, or, well, hold on, Layla, tell us more. I feel like that was just, it's just one of those cases where, why is Jill being quiet here? Because almost any interjection she might have would be equally welcome and very fun.
Well, the tent is where Layla said it would be.
Yes, but who awaits us inside?
It's empty. Why am I not surprised? A boat. No prizes for guessing who that belongs to.
I believe the first time in my whole life that I ever encountered the word skiff was in Ultima 5. maybe 4, but I'm pretty sure that that wasn't a thing. In Ultima 5, the idea of having a smaller boat that you might launch or like take to and from a larger boat, I just really thought that was really cool, like a landing craft, basically.
The embers are still warm.
So you're Sid.
I suppose I must be. Which means you have me at a disadvantage.
Apologies. I am Shula, tributary of Mysidia, final haven of the Moats of Water.
The Moats of Water.
The very tribe into which it was believed Leviathan's dominant was born. A people notable for their sapphire eyes and ivory hair. Yet that would be impossible, since the tribe famously
Vanished. Was exterminated. Despite the best efforts of both church and state, we are still very much alive. Though we've managed to keep that fact hidden from good Krieger's faithful for over a century.
Along with Leviathan's dominant.
That wave out there. What do you know of it?
The surge. Only that it's been there a long time.
Since the fall of Drake's Eye almost a century ago. Some claim the two are connected, but none can speak with any certainty.
So in other words, you know nothing. Not that I'll hold it against you. The wave was raised by Leviathan in an act of rage. Moments before the waters were stayed, and the Eikon and its dominant bound within.
And you want us to?
Rescue him. Yes. You see, a little bird told me about a certain outlaw with a singular knack for putting unruly dominants in their place. And ours is about as unruly as they get. For years, we've searched for someone who could hold their own against an Eikon. Someone just like you. So what do you say? Will you help us?
What exactly did your dominant do to warrant this punishment?
What did he do? He committed the greatest crime one of his kind can. He was born. But he deserves a better fate than the one my people forced upon him. He deserves to be free.
As do we all. Very well. Far-fetched though your tale may seem, something tells me you speak in earnest. So we will do what we can for your dominant. But first, you will tell us everything you know about him and the means of his imprisonment.
I can do better than that. I can show you. Care to take a trip across the bay? My people await you there.
Lead the way.
The Lost Cloak. What a cool name for a place. Northeastern Storm. If you manage to navigate the cloak's narrow mountaintop pass without plummeting to your death, you'll be rewarded with a breathtaking view of blighted wastelands stretching from the Bay to the Sea of Grace.
Right, you might want to hold on to something. We're coming up on the wall, and passing through can take a bit of getting used to.
I don't see any wall.
Of course you don't. That's the point. It's a glamour woven by our ancestors to keep our village hidden from prying eyes. But don't take my word for it. Watch.
That was worse than a slug of Bacchus wine.
Clive, the sky.
It's blue, but how is that possible?
You do know what a glamour is, don't you? Ours just happens to work both ways, and a good thing too. I wouldn't fancy staring at those sickly clouds every day. And that concludes our little voyage. We're here. It's a long slog to the village, and a hard one. I hope you're up for a climb.
Finally.
What? You didn't think we'd arrived, did you? The village isn't up here. It's on the other side of the mountain.
Of course it is.
We might get dialogue at any moment. I just wanted to say that any excuse they chose to give for having the skies be blue again, I would give a thumbs up. I find the changes in the regular world to be very evocative. Like, they're very good at sort of like saying, you guys, like, it's getting real. Like, there's lots of stuff. Just to have a bit of a respite.
Watch yourself, Sid. This path can be treacherous. If not for the sheer drop, then for the beasts who prowl it.
Thank you for the warning. And please, call me Clive. Sid is an alias.
You will be pleased to learn, Lady Shula, that I have no such aliases.
Is that so, Lord Margrace?
It's all the same to me.
I am so sorry. I just don't remember hearing Joshua ever referred to as Lord Margrace before. Before we get involved with them, any respite from those sort of sallow, pale red skies, like just to be in like regular sunshine again, yeah, no, just a huge relief. You don't realize how oppressive it is until you get out of it again. So this is great.
I was wondering when they'd pick up our scent.
Stand back. We'll handle this.
Oh, will you now? Shall I keep my axe and spells to myself then?
No, hold on. It's not a great pick for this. What has happened? Why am I on the ground? Wait, get up. Wait, who is still alive? This guy is.
Earlier you mentioned spells, yet I see you carry no crystals.
Since when did a bearer ever need crystals?
But then, where is your brand?
Waiting for me in Sunbreck, if I ever get careless.
Then it's in for a long wait.
Okay, I like Shula, and I like how much respect Clive just threw Shula. Hold on just 1 second, because I do want to check our icons and also the abilities. Let me roll over here. And yes, now we have the points to do the upgrade to Flames of Rebirth. I don't use it all the time, but when I do, I really want it to hit hard. So we've done that. Now, is there anything else that we're saving up for? This would be Mastery. This would be Mastery. I don't even know that I want this one. I mean, it seems fine. Yeah, I think that we can pass without that. And the reason that it matters is now what I think we're going to do is come here to Wages for Warcraft. We don't stop getting points. We'll just get them less quickly. And then what would we want here? Improves limit break, induce enhancements while increasing HP regen during limit break by 50%. Also, if fatal damage is taken while the limit gauge is full, a limit break is automatically triggered, preventing KO except under special circumstances, such as being in the Deadlands. I don't hate this, especially against bosses. Assailment bit. Oh, this is the one for double impact. I honestly think that I might want to put this in. Let's put this in just to see how it goes, because that sounds very appealing. Aside from that, we have the Berserker Ring, which I just really love. I really, really want to keep that on. And then finally, this is maximum HP by 500. I am very inclined to keep this on. Let me just take a quick look to see if there's anything else that we really want. Disengagement would be, I don't really want that. Increases damage dealt during most aerial attacks. Nourishment is HP regain potential. This one here is ability cooldown following a precision dodge. I'll tell you what, let's put that on for now, and just remember that I can get 500 hit points if I want them. Oh, wait, I'm so sorry. Is it too late? Yeah, no, we're in combat now. Okay, before we get to our next location, let me just swap out our things. I do feel like this is my preferred walking around skill set. I really like these abilities. And is this... That's Scarlet Cyclone. Let me switch that out for Flames of Rebirth, since we just upgraded it. I don't think it'll look any different. I just think it's going to be... it's going to hit a lot harder.
We're almost at the summit. From there, you'll have a better view of our home. Few have ever set eyes on what I'm about to show you. Just so you know.
This is not what I expected.
Welcome, my friends, to Mysidia.
It's been a long time since I saw the North looking so...
Alive.
I'm sure you have plenty of questions, but it's been a long journey, and I expect we could all do with a rest. Our humble village is only a short way from here, if you'd care to accompany me. Let's get ourselves in front of a fire, and I'll tell you everything you need to know.
I feel like this would be a short distance.
It's beautiful.
By hang glider.
Shula.
And we aim to keep it that way.
Okay, if these guys don't bother me, I'm not going to bother them. Although I am a little bit curious if there's a cave over here that we can explore. Okay, we don't get the triple arrows. All right, just wanted to check. That looked very inviting in a Legend of Zelda style way.
Are those stones glowing?
That's one of the cairns which maintain the glamour. Steer well clear.
If you breathe that dust in, your lungs become illusory. That'll teach you guys to nap in the sun. It really does. I like the fighting the venomous.
Surge was an act of rage.
One wonders what prompted it.
The venomous predatory plants and like the other, like seemingly at least outwardly, like openly malevolent predators, going after the dogs, the wolves that are just sort of like sunning themselves. Had a nice meal last night. They were up late. Now it's time to relax. Suddenly these guys show up. Also, it seems like this is a very, very private society from everything that we're picking up. Like, Themyscira, like a lot of people, whatever was ever known about this place has like fallen into legend. It feels like of anybody in this group, Joshua would be the most likely to know that the folks of Mysidia, or whatever the name of this place is, didn't brand their bearers or had a much more open policy around people that were bearers. And it's nice to see that not every single place in the world. We've seen places that are...
Could we not have spared ourselves the mountain crossing by landing further north?
In clear view of the bay.
Would that be a problem? Are they not allowed to know that we're coming? Sorry, now I'm thinking about that and I've completely lost my train of thought. Just that we've seen places that are more brutal than Rosaria was with regards to bearers, but it's nice to think that there's a place that is more permissive, more accepting of bearers. Like, no, they're just regular people that can do this extra thing. Well, it's something that's very bad for their own health, mind you. Okay, I think that there's a 100% chance that we will be launching from this area later as like, you know, now we're going to go down the river and it'll give us a little cutscene, but we will do that later. It might also wind up being a boss fight arena, or like a notorious mark at some point. But I want to see what was here, and now we have. So we're going to head right back up the pathway. I think they did a really nice job with the wilderness in this game. Just the ferns and trees and overgrowth.
On evening tides.
Does morning's light return?
Open the gates! The tributary is home!
Outsiders?
Look at the size of that dog.
All right now, back to your duties. You'll have to forgive my people their curiosity. We don't get many visitors. Or any, truth be told.
Then we are honored to be the first.
This is quite extraordinary. Like stepping into another world.
So do you believe me now?
You've made it difficult not to, my lady. But how did your people chance to settle here in the north? Unless I am much mistaken, the moats of water long called the coasts of Southern Ash their home. Until Drake's Horn fell and the Blight forced them ever inland, where...
We met our doom, along with our dominant. I see you've read the Gregorian Church's account, but perhaps you'd like to hear ours. That building over there is the Witten Hall. It's where my people gather to discuss matters of import. We can speak more inside, once the place is ready to receive you. It shouldn't take long, but you're welcome to explore the village while I see to things.
Thank you. We'll do just that.
They're going to say something in 3 seconds. A, I really like to look at the size of that dog. That was a lot of fun. And B, in terms of like architecture and like layout, when I just heard Leviathan, I was immediately thinking about like the first place that you start in Kingdom Hearts, the first place that you start in Chrono Cross. Like we've seen in fantasy RPGs, villages that are like built like very oceanside, very much like on the water.
That'll be them then. Don't look like much if you ask me.
And I was sort of envisioning something like that, the idea that they live like high on this mountaintop basically, but next to a mountain stream is cool.
The stalks are thin, the leaves thin. We should dress the soil a bit.
Ah, here we go. I was about to say, I'm looking around for any treasure chests if they won't mind me plundering. Ageless...
Just you stay away from that temple. Do you hear me?
I heard you the first time.
Moralizing mother says stay away from the temple, huh? Hold on, we just picked up a thing. I just wanted to see if it means anything to me. I don't think so. It'd be up at the top, and already I've forgotten what it was called. All I remember was that it was blue, and I don't see anything in here. It could have just been a crafting material.
I'm sorry, but I don't like it.
Oh, and also, thirdly, the place that we did get is basically like a Skyrim village, or like with the river running right down what appears to be the middle, it feels like very Haven Springs. Really, really, and yes, I know it's called Haven. It just really feels like a charming place to be. All right, she said to check out the village, but aside from that one chest, I'm not sure if there's a lot else to see or people to talk to. Knowing people get a nice, helpful bubble over their heads if they're interested in having a chat.
Look! That one's got a black cape. Look, Nan, it's the Outsiders. How long do you think this is?
Yeah, okay. I think that we're going to head towards our destination. It was very kind of her to offer us the chance to sort of look around, and I very much appreciate the time and effort they put into creating this space, but based on what we've seen so far, I think that we found the one chest, and probably the three chests that you all saw that I just ran right by without seeing them. Super good. I guess we are cosplaying.
Look where things are as pale as ghosts.
Welcome to Haven. The tributary awaits you within the Witten Hall.
So what do you think of our little haven in the woods? It might not have all the comforts of a southern settlement, but at least it's ours.
And there's a lot to be said for that. It can't have been easy keeping this place a secret.
Not easy, no. We've dedicated our lives to maintaining the glamour that conceals us. Us and Walias.
This man, Walias, is he Leviathan's dominant?
That's right. Though he's no man, Walias is still a baby.
A baby?
Forgive me, but you said that the Dominant and his Eikon were bound inside the Surge almost a century ago. That would surely make him older still.
It would, if he'd been allowed to age. But the spell robbed the poor bairn of even that.
I'm sorry.
Walias was the son of my great-grandfather. Leviathan awoke within him almost immediately. But instead of allowing the lad to live out his life as a valued member of the community, my ancestors sought to put his power to other uses. Sadly for them, the Eikon sensed their treachery and summoned a wave so large it would have swallowed the entire village if my ancestors hadn't stopped him.
Then it is not the surge that binds the child, but time itself.
Yes.
Forgive me. I'm still not sure I understand.
I'm not surprised. It isn't the easiest thing to explain. Which is why it might be better if I took you to see him. Show you exactly what he has to endure.
That is why we came.
Then let us be off. There's a road that leads north from the village. It'll take us right into the Surge.
Are you bound for the Wave, tributary?
We are, Delina. Have you spread the word about our guests?
I have. Everyone knows to treat them as family.
You shouldn't have any trouble now, but just in case, I would have you accept this symbol of our people.
That's very kind. I look forward to meeting the family.
The feeling's mutual.
Should the tributary be indisposed, feel free to ask me any questions you might have regarding the village, and I'll do my best to answer.
Thank you. We will.
Then I bid you good tide.
Our storehouse lies across the bridge. If you're short of supplies, you may find what you need there. Though we will have to ask you for recompense, poor as we are.
Oh, no doubt. And also, it looks like we've got some side quests here, which, as far as I could find, there were no side quests in the previous DLC.
How may I be of service? My name is Delina.
And I serve as adjutant to Lady Shula, tributary of Mysidia. While other that word, who came before me, played the role of guardian as well as aid, Lady Shula is an able warrior in her own right, and requires no protection. So I assist her in ministering to our people's affairs while she is absent or indisposed.
By way of example,
It was I who informed the rest of the village of your coming at the tributary's request. If there is aught you wish to know of our people or our village, please do not hesitate to ask.
as I'm sure you're aware,
This land was once the domain of the Northern Thanes, though the settlement had lain abandoned for such time when our ancestors' wanderings finally brought them here. Remote as it was, it seemed to them the ideal place to settle, as they duly cast the glamour over it that their new home might remain hidden.
the secret of the spell itself.
Oh, this is quite the paragraph. Had been passed down from generation to generation since the time we left Ash. We used it to disguise our camps, that the custodians of the lake through which we wandered should not learn of our trespass. And it was these temporary enchantments which led our ancestors to contemplate a more permanent solution upon arriving here.
So they built the cairns.
Filled with all the shards of crystal the tribe could spare, and summoned forth a glamour large enough to cover the entire land. And for many days and nights thereafter, their bearers labored to attune the spell that the outside world might see this place slowly succumb to the blight.
And thus we hid ourselves away.
Welcoming none into our private haven, until you, that is. At first, the spell worked only one way. It was only after the skies changed that we conjured a second illusion for the benefit of those inside. It was Lady Shula's idea, a salve for the nerves of those who had feared the roiling storm clouds were a harbinger of the end. I pray that it brings you a little relief from the darkness of the world beyond the wall, as it has done us. No, so A, what I said before, and B, that answered the other sort of thought that I had, which is, if you can't see the outside world as it actually is, doesn't that put you in danger of knowing if, for example, the skies turn sort of this... I'm trying to think of, like, the right word for it. It's not quite rose. I guess it's rose-colored, but in a very, like, dismal way. How would you know? But no, it's actually a recent development that they chose to do.
Our story began
on the narrow coast of the southern Ash, where, for want of arable land, we relied on the mountain rains to quench our thirst, and the bounty of the sea to fill our bellies, and thus did we learn the value of water.
After the fall of Drake's Horn,
we spent decades in exile, drifting across the deserts and snowfields of the Twins, till at last we arrived here in Mysidia, our second true home. Here we found mountains, rivers, and seas not unlike those of our first home in Ash. Not all that we lacked was crystal. We have no mother crystal of our own here, nor have we ever received any stipend from our neighbors. Were it not for the few shards we had been able to stockpile during our wanderings in storm, we might never have survived the first few winters, let alone cast the glamour that protects us. For to demand that the bearers among us sacrifice their lives for the benefit of others was never an option. The hardships we had faced on our journey had brought us together, and we would not be divided again. Thankfully, our unity proved our strength. Already really liking this society. And so we have stayed, dependent only on the blessings which this land provides us. The springs, the rivers, the trees, these are all we motes of water need.
Till next our streams cross.
So I like their like phrasing, like tributary and when our streams cross and stuff. I like just the water theming. Even if the location is very different than I envisioned, it sort of speaks to the relationship they have with water.
You are Sid, aren't you? The man the tributary told us about? I wonder if you could help me.
With what exactly?
Oh, nothing too troublesome. Do you know my husband, Pavat? He's the village smith, among other things. Anyway, his name day's not far off, and I wanted to make a gift for him. He's a craftsman, you see, and he's been fretting about running low on the flowers he uses for dye making, so I wondered if you might collect some for me and give them to him.
Would this gift not be better coming from you?
Perhaps, but it can't, for reasons I can't go into. Please, I know it sounds daft, but I'd be ever so grateful.
Fine. Which flowers does your husband need?
The sweet little blue ones that grow around the fount. Elder's blessings, they're called. We use them to dye our fabrics so we always feel close to water like they are. You don't need to go to the trouble of picking them yourself, though. Just speak to the field hands and ask them to share their harvest with you. 2 basketfuls should be enough for my husband to be getting on with.
2 basketfuls it is.
Wait, what? In the whole game, this is the weirdest quest we've been asked to do. She wants us to go from here to there to get 2 basketfuls of flowers that we can obtain by simply asking them, and she can't go over there herself for reasons she chooses not to disclose. Okay, we'll go do that, but I have to say, it does seem slightly suspicious. Hold on, yes, we can get over there from here. Is she afraid of bridges? Did she have a falling out? Did she call out sick from work today, picking the flowers, and then realize, oh wait, it's my husband's name day. Now I don't have the flowers I'm supposed to give him. I'm so curious about this. Hello. It looks like you've been working very hard. Can I steal the fruits of your labor?
Ah, welcome to Haven, friend.
Thank you. Forgive my presumptuousness, but the smith's wife has asked me to make her husband a present of some elder's blessings. 2 basketfuls, to be precise.
Well, I have 1, if that's any help.
It is. I'm much obliged. They really are beautiful.
Aren't they just? Though that's not the only reason they have a special place in our hearts. Legend has it that when our people fled from Ash, the tributary of the time took some seeds with them. And as they wandered high and low across the Twins, he'd plant them wherever they stopped for water. Every elder since has done the same. So when we finally put down roots here in Mysidia, the flowers did too.
This is a lovely field. I think you all should know that things around me do tend to catch on fire and burn completely to a crisp, so maybe I should limit my time here.
Excuse me. I wonder, might you be able to spare a basket of Elder's blessings? Pavard's wife tasked me with collecting some for her husband, and suggested that I speak to you.
Ah, Werda wants you to bless her better half with the fruits of our labour, does she? Go on then. Give the old fool something to squirm about.
I'm sorry.
Ah, don't worry about it. An old fool Pavard may be, but if you come bearing gifts, he's not fool enough to turn you away.
I'm glad to hear it. Thank you. Well, that's 2 basketfuls. Time to visit Pavard.
Oh, okay, let's just fast travel. She's right over there. Wait. But it's right here. Yeah, no, I won't fast travel then.
What do you want?
Your wife asked me to bring you these flowers.
That woman. Come out. I know you're there.
Who? Me?
Would either of you care to explain what's going on?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to deceive you. It's just, my husband can be a bit standoffish at times, and I thought this might be a good way for the 2 of you to get acquainted. What with you being a swordsman like, and him being the only smith in the village. It'd be a shame if you couldn't turn to him for help.
The only reason he couldn't turn to me for help is because I had my hands full with all the orders you lot dumped on me. I'm pretty much done with them now, though. But, for the record, the tributary said that we were to lend you outsiders our aid, and that's exactly what I was planning to do. With or without my darling wife's meddling. Still, here we are. Acquainted. So, if there's out you need, just bring us the materials, all right?
All right.
All right, then. And tar for the flowers. I was running low.
You use them for dyeing, I hear.
Aye. Crush the petals and it makes a fine and lasting blue. We use it to stain the cloth for our tunics and pennons. Remind us where we come from, like.
As modes of water. Children of the sea.
That's right. The pattern, too, was left by our ancestors. The Ceaseless Rill, it's called. It symbolizes the river of our tribe. with the strength of Leviathan running through it. And no matter how that river has ebbed and flowed, changed its course, the flowers have always been with us, growing on our banks. I shall get back to work. If you need something crafting, let me know.
I will. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Wasn't it just?
All right, let's check here. Is it just a blacksmith, or there's something unique about literally just set on the screen? No, we don't want this. I want to make sure not to do this by accident. And then there's nothing else here. And then craft. Go over, no, over, no. Okay, so nothing at the moment.
A good tide to you.
But it's nice to have the service available. Okay, so that was kind of weird until they got to the point where they were like, oh, and also I really could use those flowers. Because up until then, it felt like a very long way to go to just like, I'm going to introduce you to my husband. Like, that was the whole thing. And it was like, so what, lady, what was all this for? Also, just before we talk to this guy, this design, this is cool. Like, somebody on the art side, like, made this design and imprinted it here. Maybe it's based off some real-world design with which I'm unfamiliar, but I don't know. I really, really like this, and I think it came out great. Ceaseless Rill, I think is what they said it's called.
Oh, I'll have her hide when she gets back. Oh, sorry. I was leagues away. How can I help you? If you're after something from the storehouse, it's actually my wife you'll want to talk to. She will have to charge you for the goods, though. Not that would fleece you or anything. It's just, you know, needs must.
I understand.
Saying that, she might not be able to get anything down for you for a bit.
Ah, right.
She's got her hands full with the inventory, you see. It should have been my daughter's job, really, but the willful little Rills decided to make herself scarce. Ah, the heavens only know where that girl's got to.
If you'd like me to keep an eye out for her.
Oh, no. I couldn't ask that of an outsider. Could I? You wouldn't mind?
Of course not. She won't have gone far, will she?
I hope not. But I've scoured the entire village for her and come up empty-handed. Can't help thinking she might have gone on another one of her little adventures.
Ah, a free spirit, is she?
Aye, that she is. Can't get her to sit still, especially once she heard you lot were on your way. Outsiders! You should have seen her little eyes light up. Oh, if she wanted to watch you arrive, she'd have made for the low gate where you first came in. The guard there might have spotted her. Maybe you could ask him. Ruka, her name is.
All right. I'll let you know if I find her. Try not to worry.
Based on the overall state of the world, I would think that a missing child would be a really big deal. So I won't be surprised at this moment if we come across his daughter and she is a full-grown adult who knows how to, like, wield a rapier or something. Although, wait, now I'm just describing Jill.
Excuse me. You haven't seen the storekeeper's daughter, have you?
Little Ruka? I have, as it happens. She went out through the gate not long ago.
Out of the village? Alone?
Aye, she does it all the time. There's a path off to the left which leads down to the river. Nice little spot, that. And safe as you like. The beasts of the mountain don't dare come so close to the village. That's where she'll be. Go and have a look if you don't believe me.
I will.
Yeah, all of these folks might be cool with it. I'm going to say it doesn't hurt to double check.
This must be the path.
Oh, this is the area that I said we were going to launch a boat from later on. Turns out maybe it's not a boss fight, but regular, just find a missing kid.
They're not here either. It's you! I've been looking everywhere for you.
You must be Ruka.
You know my name? Can you lot read minds?
Your father asked me to keep an eye out for you. You left without telling him where you were going. He was worried.
But I went to look for you.
Well, now you found me. What do you say we head back to the village and let your father know you're safe?
All right. And on the way home, you can tell me all about the world beyond the wall. I want to know everything.
Everything might be a stretch.
Thank you for bringing her home. And sorry for the trouble.
Oh, no. It was a pleasure.
Daddy, did you know that there are villages 10 times as big as Haven in the outside world? 10 times! Cities, they call them. And in these cities, they have great big walls and towers and castles.
Oh, to think I was worried. You can tell me all about the outside world later, Sweet Pea. Now go and help your mum with the stores.
All right.
Thanks for putting up with her questions. She, has a lot of them. One of the big ones being, what are the people beyond the wall like? Reckon you've made a good first impression.
Are we the only ones she's ever met?
That you are. The rest of the world can't know we're here, so we'll have to be very careful who we're letting in and out. A few of us might make the occasional trip to shore for supplies, but for the most part, we'll make do with what we've got, including what the old Northerners left us.
Yes. You built on top of the old ruins, didn't you?
Well, they make for fine foundations. Their masons clearly knew what they were doing. That's one thing we don't have to worry about. Oh, it's everything else that's the problem. Medicines, metals for tool making, anything like that. We have to dress up as traveling merchants and make a trip to the outside and pray to every cloud in the heavens that nobody sees through us.
Which explains why you need Gil.
Aye. And now Ruka's back, my wife should be free to assist you with any potential purchases. So please, do make good use of our stores, because we fully intend to make good use of your coin.
I'll be sure to keep my purse strings loose.
It's a pity nothing but the foundations were left standing. The whole storehouse made of stone would make it a lot easier to keep our supplies in good nick.
Thanks for bringing me daughter back. I don't grudge her looking for adventure, but she's got to pull her weight like the rest of us. Anyway, now we've got the inventory done, I can attend to my own tasks, like seeing to our visitors' needs. So, was the route you wanted? When you've decided what you want, just let me know.
Okay. As with Mid, please do not have me try to voice act this person. Very, very far away. But she does have a new waistcloth for us, so by all means, let's go ahead and put this on.
Here you are.
And an arm ring, yes, also better. And now we can go and visit the blacksmith, because I bet that they can do something for us now. Let's look here. I'll tell you what, there's no reason for us to believe that we're going to be like back here very easily again, so I'm just going to buy the orchestrion roll now. And then we don't have anything else to get right now.
You good tide.
Will you be back soon?
You've still got to tell me everything else about the outside world.
And like these designs here, like if you asked me to, you know, create something that the people of a water-themed village might put up, I wouldn't come up with anything remotely like this. This is so much cooler. I'd have like think in your head of like cartoon waves, like just like little triangles coming up from an indistinct horizon, and that's what I'd put. I would never come up with anything like this. It's so much cooler.
Reckon my steel's just as good as any.
Oh, really? Okay. Maybe Blackthorn can upgrade them. I'm surprised it doesn't even appear on the list. It's still better than what we had, but...
Till next time, then.
Okay. So, with all of that done, unless there's something else on the map, let's go ahead and head to the... Let's head down and then up. Whoa. Torgal, don't get mad at stuff. And you know what? It's been a minute. Let's just pet Torgal very quickly.
You were right, boy.
How long do you think this bridge has been?
Did I mention this earlier in this episode, just that I really liked when Clive was like, oh, Torgal, your bracelet, like, we can take that off your leg, and Torgal just goes, brrr. He wants to keep his bracelet.
Off to the surge, are you? Well, just you stay close to the tributary. We don't want you getting lost in the forest.
Darn it, this far in, still press A.
There's a pair of ships just up ahead.
Ships? But are we not still leagues from the shore?
Okay, he did ask you a question. Like, that's an excellent question. We are really in the brush here. Hold on a second. Okay, anything else over here? Nope. I'm also going to note, I didn't bring this up, but Clive is 49 and these enemies are 50. This is the first
route to the surge is due east, past the second galley.
Shula, how did these ships come to be here?
What do you imagine happens when an Eikon of water gets angry?
Really, brother? Did you have to ask?
Oh, I'm sorry, Joshua. I thought I was following up on your question. I can see now what an idiot question that was that you asked. Come on. Hold on. Nope, we're done. Okay. And we're not going to fight every single guy on the way down. I just figured getting a little practice under our belts for the various enemy types in this area. Those are not enemies, no.
Tonberries. Foul creatures consumed by their hatred for everyone and everything.
Everything seems sharp enough, it seems.
Fire and flame!
Did that miss? Because that seemed like a hell of a strike for this guy to not have taken very much damage from Joshua, I mean. Okay, so we see something up over there. It looks like both ways sort of take us in the direction that we want to go, but this prize is a little bit closer, so we're going to grab this first. Also, when I saw those guys with their little, like, butcher knives, I was like, oh, wait a second, because without giving too much away, there was one of those dudes in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I was like, oh, okay, let's do this fight. Hardest guy in the game. Like, this absolutely wrecked me for a few tries. This guy died of fright, apparently. Yeah, I hit him with some lightning too, but really seemed mostly just be distress. No thanks, I'll just be over here. Oh, I take it back. That was a much bigger attack. Oh, darn it. Sorry, just knocked the pill right out of him. No, the Flames of Rebirth. Like, at first I was like, oh, is this because I'm in iconic mode? And then I realized, no, I upgraded that ability. That's why it was such a bigger flare. All right, that little attack, it kind of makes me want to go down the other path just to see if there's another guy, because there are a couple crafting materials that I'm missing for upgrades back at main camp with Blackthorn. However, I'd be a little bit surprised.
It's not far now.
A little bit surprised if those are actually dependent on things in the DLC. Like, I kind of feel like they would be things that you could get in the main game. Anything among the shipwreckage? An old chest all full of stuff that they never picked up for some reason. No. Okay. So, yeah, we can continue back. I don't think we're going to find anything. Who knows what was going to be on the rest of that path, but no, we'll head forward. And just like the lighting, the shadows, the way that the light sort of like filters through the trees up there, the leaves specifically, it looks really nice. The bloom effect, I think, specifically, as we enter the darker part of the forest and come out here.
How will we reach the surge?
We'll follow the coastline north. There's a bridge that'll take us across to the cape.
Also, the fact that this is just sort of a landscape feature that everybody knows about and it hasn't come up previously. Because, I mean, if there's a giant frozen wave that's just ready to go and never has, and it's just been there for over 100 years, literally generations of people have grown up, and that's just a thing.
You don't want to go down there. Trust me.
Do I even want to ask why?
Well, no, I don't want to ask why. Joshua's going to make fun of us. Just keeping an eye out for things that might attack.
Might I inquire about the ray of light?
It's what prevents the surge from being reclaimed by the sea. And Dwalius by his people.
Company.
So I honestly thought that was part of the... When we first came over the ridge and saw that beam of light, I thought that was the glamour. I thought that was what was projecting the force field that made it look like this is all blighted land. Do we want to come up over here? Like a little bit. I want to see what's up here. I know it's marked off, but if we see anything cool and... No. Okay. If there is, it looks like that'll be an area that we go to later. Really missed my dodge. He's gonna do one more, so I sort of want to wait for that. Oh, does he not? Okay. I vanished out of existence. Now here I am. Oh, wait. Oh, we're done. We're done. We're done. Okay, everybody. Gear down. We did it. I was still going. I still had more to give.
You said before that the child is bound within the surge. But you've yet to tell us how we're meant to reach him. I trust we won't have to hold our breath.
No. The surge wraps around the cape without engulfing it. If we continue to its tip, there is a path down to the seabed and the wave's origin.
All right. It won't be the first dominant we've met at the bottom of the ocean.
The surge. A lone wave rises to eternity, cursed never to break, the hands of time having stilled the rage of its tortured creator.
It's not much further now.
The path seems well kept. Do you and the villagers often come this way?
Only me. Once every new moon without fail. It is my duty both as village elder and Walius's descendant.
But surely no one blames you for what happened. Why should you bear the responsibility alone?
You misunderstand. I do it because I want to show him that he isn't alone, and that there are still some of us who would see an end to his suffering. Suffering you will soon witness with your own eyes. The forest grows quickly here. Left unattended, the path would be reclaimed in a matter of moons.
Intended or not, they've done a very good job of communicating to me that Shula is a person of very strong conscience.
Does the light point the way to the child?
It does indeed.
Look at all the droplets of water suspended in midair.
Where they have remained untouched by time for 80 summers.
It's not right.
No, it's not.
There, up ahead. Down in the center. Follow me.
He's still primed.
I'll never forget my first priming. The fear. I was old enough to understand what was happening. One can only imagine how this poor child felt.
He is the victim of an unforgivable sin. Committed by people who saw him as nothing but a means to an end. He must be so frightened.
Then I'll ease his burden.
You don't mean?
I'm not going to hurt him. Contrary to the tales, I don't go around killing dominants for no reason. What if I told you there was a way to remove Walius's Eikon?
I tell you, you were a madman.
It's hard to believe, I know. But it can be done. Though, it isn't without its risks. Part of the Eikon remains no matter what.
So, it might still come to violence.
I don't know. It depends on the dominant. I've seen things end well, and I've seen things spiral out of control. But I do know one thing. If we turn our backs on this child, there will be no end to his suffering. And I think that a worse fate than the alternative. Don't you?
Very well. Do what you must. And whatever happens, I will own the consequences.
Don't be afraid, little one. Let me bear the weight. all right.
Is it done?
I think so. I can feel the Eikon inside me. But something's wrong. He wasn't just afraid. He was angry. All right. Let's see what you've given me.
Clive has claimed a portion of the Eikon Leviathan's essence. Atoning with Leviathan not only changes the elemental aspect of his magic spells, but also allows access to several new iconic abilities such as Cross Swell, an inescapable rush of water that pummels enemies from multiple angles. Abilities are on the abilities tab. Although, as far as I know, we can't switch abilities. We're in combat now. Leviathan's Feet. Leviathan's iconic feat, Serpent's Cry, can be used to summon to Clive's off arm a sea-spitting serpent capable of dealing precision strikes to enemies at great distances. Pressing X in this state will unleash a tidal torrent, multiple bursts of water capable of forcefully knocking back smaller creatures, while pressing Y will fire a powerful jet of water, a tidal stream at enemies situated just outside melee range. We'll try to do this and learn it. Tidal Gauge. Using these attacks will deplete your tidal gauge, becoming unavailable when the gauge is empty. The gauge will slowly replenish over time, but can be refilled quicker by pressing B. Time a second press perfectly with the on-screen prompt to immediately refill the gauge, as well as earn unlimited ammunition for a short period of time. So, active reload. The tidal gauge is also replenished when successfully executing a precision dodge. I love doing the precision dodges whenever I can. While using Serpent's Cry, pressing RB again while dodging will cause Clive to roll in the air, extending the dodge even further. Tidal Torrent can be used while rolling by pressing X. This is a lot all at once. I will do my best to learn any of this. While dodging. Oh, so it's just a second RB. Okay. Only Leviathan's abilities are available during this battle. Okay, cool.
Is that Leviathan?
No, just an
Wait.
But a formidable adversary nonetheless.
I really like this dodge roll. And now, what do I do? X?
Oh, look. It has friends.
And then I want to do the Y ability too. Wait, I would need to refill and fail. Oh, wait, what is this? Oh, it's a machine gun. Okay, I'm taking a lot of damage from these dudes. Okay, wrong button. Okay, now we're back to the big guy. Let me refill. And then I don't know how to not be in this mode, I have to say. I think when it says, like, only these abilities, I don't think I can do a regular sword swipe, but I could be wrong. Okay, hold on. Nope. I'm gonna have a potion. Okay, didn't see him coming. Hold on. Wait, I mean, that's cool and all, but... No, no! Thank you, Torgal. Actually, I need another potion now that you mention it.
Is everyone all right?
He seems calmer now.
You said Walius was frozen in time. But he knew we were here. How?
I don't know. He's never reacted to anything or anyone. Until now.
The child has been bound for nigh on a century. If he has been conscious from the first, we must remove the seal at once.
It's not that simple. I wish it were, but... there's more to this tale. It would be better if I explained back at the village.
I see. Then let's return before it gets dark.
I'm sorry, Walius. I will make this right. So, part of Leviathan is inside you now, is it? Does it hurt?
No. Not anymore, anyway.
Good. Because I still have need of your strength. If you want to know the rest, we should head to the Witten Hall.
Of course.
And pending any, new side quests, we're going to go directly there. I was a little bit concerned that interacting with that too much was going to, break the spell, and then the baby, who is currently suspended inside a water bubble in midair, would fall to the ground. Because whatever other abilities he might have had, if Clive has taken his Eikon, it's just a long way for a baby to fall. Feeling very uncomfortable there.
To understand the spell which binds Walius, you must first know who we are, and what drove my forebears to commit such an atrocity. This tapestry is our story, the one that brought us here. After generations of wandering, my people sought refuge in northeastern Storm, some 170 years ago. But in exchange for our safety, the Gregorian Church demanded we renounce our faith and branded us heretics when we could not.
To be exterminated, as a lesson to others.
And so was it chronicled in the imperial histories, for anything less would have made the Church seem weak. Yet a handful survived. The few who did fled north and west, and in doing so discovered two things that would forever shape our fates. The first was an old legend revealing how to make your very own mother crystal.
I've heard that one before.
Yes, yet it gave them new hope, however false. Our ancestors convinced themselves that they could recreate the divine if they could only find a strong enough heart. A living being capable of channeling torrents of ether. And the heavens provided.
A dominant. Well, yes.
They'd stumbled across a nostrum in an ancient ruin, which they believed could provoke a sudden outpouring of a creature's ether. They meant to enrage his Eikon. Leviathan would have destroyed everything had our people not made their second important discovery. A means to stop time itself.
Where did they find that? The Northerners had no such magics, or they would have used them.
When our ancestors first arrived, the land was uninhabited, save for an old witch who lived on the highest peak. Her body had been consumed by the curse, a cruel payment for her long years of service to the Northern Thanes. So desperate were they to prevent the fall of Drake's Eye, they'd forced her to devise a spell to stop time.
But Drake's Eye did fall.
It did. When she finally perfected the necessary magics, it was already too late. As punishment for her failure, the Thanes exiled her to this forsaken place to live out the few days she had left. Knowing her suffering, our ancestors cared for her as best they could, and in return, she gifted them her spell. That even though she should die, her legacy might live on. So armed with both the knowledge of the ancients and the secrets of time, our ancestors settled upon an ambitious plan. They would create a new mother crystal and enchant it that it might endure for all eternity. Thus would our people's wandering, our suffering, finally end, and prosperity visit us once more. And all it would require was the sacrifice of a single child. A small price to pay, or so they believed.
Another victim of man's blind reliance on the mother crystals. So we know the seal source. How do we break it and restore the flow of time?
Do you recall the dome of light on top of the cliffs to the west? Inside lie the ruins of an old temple. It was there that the witch built the Vare, a conduit of sorts that channels her remaining ether into the surge. But it's been a long time since anyone set foot in the place. And now, there are others who claim it as their own.
Then we shall go prepared for a fight. That said, it may be best if one of us stays behind.
You think the village could be in danger?
We saw the ether flow from Wallius in all directions, but only encountered a single familiar. There will be more. And should even one make its way here, I doubt the walls could hold it back for long.
Then I shall stay. The Phoenix will see your people safe, tributary.
You have my thanks.
Very well. We should depart at once. I fear time may no longer be a luxury we can afford.
The Vare is not easy to find. We must first head north and then west, deeper into the forest.
Okay, well, I feel like there's some folks here. First of all, I'm glad to have Jill, but also, I'm just saying that Joshua does tend to have a tendency every once in a while, not all the time, but every once in a while to fall over coughing up blood. Maybe we don't put the safety of the entire village entirely on his shoulders with no support?
I can't go on like this.
Just try to breathe. That's it.
Is everything all right?
Ah, you're the outsider. I'm Fanit, healer by trade. And this is Talor, one of my patients. He took ill not long after you arrived.
Nothing too serious, I hope.
I hope so too,
But?
This affliction, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. He complains of feeling chilled to the bone, but there's no fever to go with it. And my most powerful antalgic hasn't done a thing to ease the pain in his chest. I'm starting to wonder if his condition might require a different kind of treatment altogether. Shula said that you were here to help us. You couldn't help me, could you?
I'd be happy to. If I can.
You can, don't worry. All I need you to do is speak to Talor's son, Pavat, over at the forge, and ask if he knows what his father was up to before he came down sick. Something must have caused this, and I want to find out what. The trouble is, Talor's too weak to speak, and I can't leave his side for long. So while you talk to Pavat, I'll pay his wife word a quick visit, just in case she knows anything.
All right.
If he got sick just after we arrived, I'd be a little bit concerned that I don't think that this would occur to Clive, but a little concerned that we're the ones who brought it in. Like, we're the dudes who, like this has been an isolated village for ever, like a really long time. There's not a lot of trade, not a lot of direct interaction with others. What if we brought in a disease?
Do you need something?
I do, though not from the forge. Fanit asked me to speak with you. She's looking into the cause of your father's illness and wondered if you could shed any light on the matter.
I see. Sorry. She shouldn't have dragged you into this.
It's no trouble, really. Tell me, did your father do anything out of the ordinary before he fell ill?
Not that I know of. But then I hardly see him. He's always out and about, like. Well, at least he was. Suppose he might have been a bit more fidgety than usual, but apart from that...
When you say out and about, where does he usually go?
Just round the village. Wanders over to Blazier's place most days. He's a fisher who lives on the other side of the fount. They're old friends. Maybe he knows something I don't.
Maybe. I'll go and speak with him.
Also, there's a dot here for something new. Let's just take a quick look. Oh, Tide Strike. Is this... This is worse than what we've got by 10 points. Oh, right, because we've got a really cool DLC weapon. The only thing is it conceivable that if we had Tide Strike, then it would either unlock some additional crafting later on. Levin Bolt, Grindstone, Icebrand, Everdark. Yeah, Everdark is the last one that we've got, and then there's no others beyond that we've seen. Okay, so nothing else for Tide Strike. I might buy this just because I don't have any other purpose for that Aqueous Orb, and it just seems cool to have all the weapons. This is not as good, and this is not as good. And then for reinforcements, also no new developments.
Good tide to you.
No sign of the child.
Oh, wait, let's go over here. To the extent that we can follow a quest from A to B, it feels good to sort of like stay on that path, especially since that guy is sick. And whether or not he, is close to death, it just feels nice if people are doing everything they can to help you out when you're not in a good way.
Greetings, stranger. What can I do for you?
Your name is Blazier, is it not? Pavat tells me you're a friend of his father's. and that the two of you may have spent some time together prior to his illness.
His illness? Talor's never been ill a day in his life. I don't know why he'd start now.
Oh, Fanny doesn't know either. It was she who asked me to look into his recent behavior on the off chance it might explain how his condition arose.
I suppose there was something that struck me as a bit odd. He kept asking about the woods. Did you see anything strange on your way back from the shore? Are you certain? Do you swear? That kind of thing. I didn't, of course. But he wouldn't let it go. It was like he was expecting something to happen. It was just a matter of when. Not that I know what, but he never told me anyway.
Well, that certainly does sound unusual. And it might just be what Fannet is looking for. Thank you.
Don't mention it. Oh, and when you say Talor, wish him the best from me, eh?
Let's see what the healer makes of this.
So I really like this guy's voice, and it's exactly one of those accents that were I to ever attempt it, it would sound like I'm making fun, and I would not be. I would just be bad at it.
I can hardly believe it. Talor of all people. Oh, I suppose we're both getting on a bit.
And also, where he's like, he's never been sick a day in his life. I don't know why he would start now. As though it was a new hobby he's decided to, like, engage in. You know, I've never been deathly ill. I wonder, maybe I should consider taking that up. Have a new experience.
I spoke with Werder, but she couldn't tell me anything. Did you have any better luck?
Nothing conclusive. But there was one thing. Lazir, the fisherman, told me that Talor had taken a sudden interest in the forest of late. He kept asking him if he'd seen anything unusual there on his way back from the coast, but never let on what exactly he was expecting him to have seen.
The forest between here and the coast. Surely not. But then... I can't say for sure. But I think Talor's illness might have some connection to the Tomberries. You may have encountered them during your time here. The small, scaly beastmen.
And you think they may have caused Talor's illness?
I do. At least in a way. And if I'm right, it's no wonder the treatments I've been trying didn't work. Oh, I know it's a lot to ask, but would you go down into Father's Fell for me? There's an altar there. And if my fears are true, an offering upon it.
What is going on here?
Please. I'll explain everything when you return, but time flows fast. I beg you, make haste for Father's Fell and take the offering from the altar. Talor's life may depend on it.
Very well.
There's an old altar in the forests of Father's Fell where the Tomberries sometimes congregate. If you leave now, it might not be too late.
Okay, let's check to see if there's a fast travel point to there. Yeah, we want to go there. And the answer is no. So as opposed to picking up some additional quests that will sort of confuse stuff, we'll just give these folks the cold shoulder and then head up. Also, I'm assuming that Ambrosia is available to us, but I haven't attempted to call her since we arrived here.
I never should have let him go alone.
Oh, don't worry. We'll be back to help you deal with your various crises. We are heading this way. Oh, wait, but this looks like it's going to trigger the next story point if we go this way.
Ninja?
And once everyone left me in peace.
Okay, let's go. Let's see if we can not go too far down the next story beat. I do want to help
Before we turned east at the shipwrecks to reach the coast. Now we must head in the opposite direction.
Left it is then.
Okay, but, well, unfortunately... Okay, but not that left. Perfect. I don't think this game is eager to have missable side quests. I think that you really...
One thing I know about beastmen is that they love to hide in the dark.
I think you'd really have to, like, ignore a quest to have it time out, and so far. So I don't think we would be any danger normally. I just didn't want to trigger main quest stuff when we can do this.
What are they up to? Some sort of ritual. Sorry to disturb you.
I'm not sure they're the ones that are disturbed. Like, look at how freaky these guys are, with their silent, yellow, unblinking eyes and their butcher knives, like steak knives.
Let's see what's on this altar then. A silver chain. I doubt the Tombury's made it. This must be what Fanet was talking about.
All right, do we just bounce right back to her? Yes. All right, hold on, everybody.
You're back. Well, did you find anything?
I did. This silver chain.
I knew it.
Well, I'm still none the wiser.
Forgive me. This chain. It's a Gregorian Maternoster.
Worn by men of the faith. What's it doing here? And why would the Tomburys be praying to it?
To understand that, you need to understand what the Tomburys are. They feed on hatred and suffering. And some say that if you render them an offering, some token of grievance against your fellow man, they will put a curse upon him.
So you think someone's put a Tombury curse on Talor?
I can't say for sure. Truth be told, I always assumed it was an old wives' tale. But given his fear of the forest and the presence of the chain on the altar, I don't know what else to think.
Does Talor have any enemies in the village? Anyone who would nurse such a grudge?
No, I believe the one who left the chain at the altar was Talor himself.
I beg your pardon?
But there's more to the tale, you see. It's said that if you attempt to curse a soul that has returned to the sea already, your ire has nowhere to go but back to its source.
You're saying he cursed himself?
In trying to curse another, aye.
When my father was younger, he was one of the few permitted to venture beyond the wall on trading expeditions. He told us that when he journeyed to Sanbreque, he'd wear that chain to disguise his true beliefs, lest Griega's faithful turn their cudgels on him.
Did they ever catch him in his deception? Might that explain the ill will he bears someone?
Not that he ever told me.
Come now. Let's not waste time speculating about Talor's past. We need to focus on the present, and that means finding a way to break the curse.
All right. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know.
Thank you. I shall.
Aye, and thanks for going to all this trouble. Here, it's not much, but I want you to have this. We call it an adder stone. It's a gatherer's charm. Reacts to certain rare minerals we use in crafting. Makes them ring out like a bell, stuff you'd have no chance of spotting otherwise. If you find anything, see that you bring it back to me. I can make you some decent gear with it. If you're interested, like.
I am, thank you. And I'll be sure to pay you a visit. Until then, I wish your father a swift recovery.
You have obtained the design draft for Serpent Rings, accessories that, when equipped, enhance Leviathan's iconic abilities. Create these items, speak with Blackthorn in the Hideaway or Pavat in Haven's Foundry, and select the craft option. Please note that crafting them will require several materials found only in Mysidia, such as aquamarine. You obtain an adder stone. Carved from aquamarine, adder stones will resonate both audibly and visibly with other nearby sources of the precious gemstone, making them invaluable in gathering the rare crafting material. Your controller will always also vibrate when in proximity. Aquamarine is hidden throughout Mysidia, so be sure to check every corner of the region, but please note that some aquamarine locations will differ between action story-focused modes and Final Fantasy mode. Wait, what's Final Fantasy mode? Is there a harder difficulty? There, when we started the game way back, it was a choice between action mode or story mode, with action mode being described as like a more moderate combat experience where story was not so much on the combat. It was like, hey, if you just want the story, you don't want to have to worry about combat. Final Fantasy mode, maybe that unlocks after you finish the whole game, or maybe it's New Game Plus. That's just cool. That's the first time that has been suggested. Yeah, aquamarine locations are different between those two modes. All right. So I am super glad that we wound up doing that quest first, because maybe we'll find some of the aquamarine locations while we're doing the other story quest. Let me just check to see if we can do any rings now. It doesn't sound like we can.
My steel's just as good as any.
And maybe I'm going to hold on to that aqueous orb in case it turns out that we do need it for something else, but... Well, this is... Yeah, these things all require aquamarine, so this is what it would be. I would love to get these. However, I do have to say that I'm really happy with our set of trinkets. If there was ever an upgrade that let you get more than just the 3 trinkets, then we'd really, you know, be looking at this stuff. But let's see if we can... Oh yeah, literally every single one of these are for like hyper-specific water abilities, and I've not really ever gone into any of those. I like the more generalized abilities. You know, precision dodging, plus 10% on attacks and so forth. Okay, hold on, everybody just relax. So, this DLC seems much more fully featured than the previous one. I enjoyed Echoes of the Fallen, but this one has side quests in a whole new area, brand new crafting tree, a brand new icon, which actually, before we go, let's just take a quick look at that. Did they slide all this over? Was there... I feel like there was not an available space before. And now we've got this, and now that makes me want to put on the get more abilities thing again. But Deluge, yeah, I really like the machine gun. I wasn't making a very good use of it yet, but that is a super cool ability. And then Cross-Swell is the big crunch of waves. This one here would be Abyssal Tear. Rip open a slowly expanding gateway to the murky depths of the sea, and when the timing is right, summon forth an abyssal storm that hones in on nearby enemy. This... I'd be interested to see this one in action. It's not immediately my favorite. And then down here we've got Tsunami, which is the ultimate. Conjure a whirling wave of titanic proportions to swallow up and spit out all enemies caught in the surf. I think at a minimum, I really want to upgrade this one and this one. And that puts us just shy of upgrading Serpent's Cry. Oh, which would only ever be a mastery, which I guess would maybe allow us to do it. Let me just look at details. What do you get for mastery on this? Is it just assign anywhere? Extends the tidal gauge, extends unlimited ammunition. So I would like to get this, but we'll get another 60 points before too long. But I do think that this is going to be a great place to call it, and what we'll do is we will rejoin the Rising Tide in progress for our next episode, starting with these other side quests, and just sort of generally be on the hunt for Aquamarine as we go. I don't really expect to go very far out of my way exploring random places, but if we find it, that'll be great. So we will catch you then in the next one.